friends, when it is Tuesday, it is the Raw Leadership Talk. And today we close the month of September, the 9th month of 2021, with a series of global leadership that we've been doing throughout this month. Today, looking at godly leadership part 4, crowning it all with leading from the heart. We'll be glad to hear from you. Where are you watching us from? Glad to connect with you. In a moment, we will go into the topic of the day. Listening to that instrumental of Let's Go Back Home. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Tuning in from the Raw Leadership Talk is brought to you by the Africa Center for Public Speaking. You can connect via our page, the Africa Center for Public Speaking on Facebook, on my timeline, Dan Mugera, and also YouTube channel, Dan Mugera, my channel, Dan Mugera's channel, YouTube channel. Thank you. In life, I prescribe to the philosophy of three people. The philosophy of Jesus Christ, who said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." The philosophy of a man called Robert Ludlum, who said, "Blessed are the flexible, for they will not allow themselves to be bent out of shape." And the philosophy of Dale Carnegie, who said, "Blessed are they who make short speeches, for they shall be invited again to speak." Leadership has become the quintessential 21st century catchword. Nations, organizations, and community can trace the engine force of their success to one word: leadership, leadership, leadership. It is J. Also Sanders who said it first, that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. It is about influencing others to the right direction for impact and growth. But wait a minute. If we say then that leadership is influence only, that would mean that people like Adolf Hitler, Idi Amin, or Mobutu Sese Seko Nkundubengu wa Zabanga, they were great leaders because they influenced, or they were popular to some extent. Now, we must therefore change this narrative and emphasize that leadership is positive influence. It's not just influence, it is positive influence. The problem all over the world is a problem of mentality. This has caused men and women to look at leadership from the arena of pomposity and no sacrifice, from the cocoon of strength and not service, from the privilege of power and not purpose. These have been the main reason why people go for political seats, desire promotions in the corporate sector, and push their way in the society. Now, leading from the heart, the art of authentic influence seeks to change this particular narrative today. Today, the world is full of trepidation and degradation politically, economically, and morally. Our struggles have never produced enough strength. Our education has never produced enough wisdom. Instead, today, we have people who are becoming intellectual barbarics, full of knowledge, but empty of humanity. And these are the things that need to change in our society. Let me tell you this, that leadership is positive influence. To attain authentic influence, leaders must embrace process, navigation, and value addition. To attain authentic influence, leaders must embrace process, navigation, and value addition. And so today I want to demystify process, navigation, and value addition so that you can come to a level of understanding how to become a leader who leads from the heart, a godly leader. Process. In the microwave generation of instant coffee, instant fries, instant money, process becomes the victim. We have never seen such an impatient generation like the one that we have right now. Men and women have thrown away the 3 P's of purpose, passion, and patience. Leaders should embrace process to create a clear purpose, genuine passion, and be ready to be patient before realizing the fruit of their labor. Therefore, as leaders create systems that work, they should also create plans for their personal growth to be bigger in the inside and smaller on the outside. The greatest problem that we have today in the world are leaders who are becoming bigger on the outside, but very small in the inside. It is important for us to move beyond becoming bigger on the outside and becoming bigger in the inside. Becoming bigger in the inside. Thank you, Eric Angara. You say tuned in. Therefore, this is indeed a major challenge in this continent of Africa. Why? Because we threw away the relevant education of values which was passed to us by our forefathers and embraced fully the Western education which we needed at that time. Now, the relevant education was necessary. What did it do? It taught kids how to be respectful to their elders. It taught men how to be honest and defend their families. But again, it also taught women the value of humanity and the essence of homemaking. So today, we have celebrated CEOs in the corporate world who don't know how to treat their spouses with respect. Dignified politicians who don't have time for their children because they are very busy. A clergy who thinks money is a means to an end and it can buy you a ticket to heaven. It is a problem of values. The problem of Africa is a problem of values. A problem of Kenya is a problem of values. In our country, Kenya, we suffer many challenges today as a result of undermining processes. Corruption, tribalism, terrorism, simply because we have undermined processes. As a result of corruption, millions of dollars of public funds are lost every year through corrupt public officials who steal and go home to kneel down and pray before their spouses and children, thanking God for the blessings, when they know, in real sense, that they stole from the public. Tribalism, or what we call ethnic stereotype, has costed this country a great deal of great leadership. Politicians will rally their ethnic troops during elections with propagandas of fear and isolation from another ethnic group in the event their tribesmen or women are not elected. Now, you know how these cards play very well in this part of the world. This has polarized our politics completely. Both the highly educated and the low educated fall prey to this machination. This has been the poison that has affected us for quite a long time. And now we even talk about terrorism has found a way to cause more fear to an already fragile nation through attacks which cleverly seek to divide the Christians and the Muslims. And you know some of the attacks that happened in this country and how they created radicalization in Muslims and at the same time among Christians. But let me tell you this, that irrespective of all this, there's still hope for Africa and for Kenya. Africa today is the youngest continent in the world. It is the continent with the greatest percentage of young people below age 35. It is these young people with proper grooming that will arise and rebuild this country and this continent to a powerful stature. Irrespective of all the challenges, Kenya has stood due to the resilience of its people, aggressive entrepreneurship, and massive human resource. In resilience, Kenya has risen from dust and corrected its mistakes again and again. And in 2008, after raising from the ashes of post-election violence, in 2010, we gave ourselves a new constitution, which gave us a system of decentralized government, which gave power to the judiciary, the legislature, and other independent institutions. As a result of this, in 2017, Kenya became the first country in Africa and the third in the world to nullify a presidential election. Look at what we have achieved because of the steps that we decided to take. In entrepreneurship, so many Kenyans engage in business, formally and informally, and this has contributed greatly to the economy of this country. Kenya was the first country in the world to introduce mobile money transfer in the name of M-Pesa. Today, an estimated $20 million, which could be around 2 billion Kenya shilling, is transacted daily via M-Pesa. M-Pesa, which was invented in Kenya, has become a pillar machine of the economy. These are good examples of how process can change things for the better. And process indeed has changed things for the better in this country. Today, Kenya has the highest number of human resources in Africa. The total number of professionals who hold diplomas, bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees is higher, making it easy for provision of professional labor force whenever foreign and local investors are in need. Whenever foreign and local investors are in need. Let's look at navigation. That was process. How about navigation? John C. Maxwell said everyone can steer a ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course. Everyone can steer a ship, but it takes the leader to chart the course. Navigation is the process of a leader providing clear direction for his or her team. I never used to understand this very much until one time I took a voyage from the Kenya Navy base in Mombasa, a place called Tongwe, in the southern side of Mombasa, to another Kenyan Navy base called Manda in Lamu. While we were in the ship, the captain decided to take us on a tour within the ship, and we got privileged to go all the way to the Gill House. And this is where the coxswain and the navigators are. So when we arrived there, because we had little knowledge about the ship, we saw the coxswain steering the ship. And to our mind, that was the guy. That was the man in charge. That was the one who we depended upon. But on the right side of the Gill House, there were young Kenyan Navy officers with maps and tools of navigation. They were busy navigating and telling the coxswain 45 degrees northwest, 60 degrees north. And right there, we were told these are the navigators, that if they get it wrong, the ship won't arrive in its destination. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Most of the time we think that the person steering the ship is the leader. But you know what? John C. Maxwell says everyone can steer the ship. It takes the leader to navigate or to chart the course. It takes the leader to chart the course. I know, leaders who look like they're steering the ship, but they are not really the ones charting the course. And what about value addition? What about value addition? Leadership is about adding value and not taking it away. If you're in a position of leadership, or if you've been given a chance to be a leader, understand that leadership is about adding value and not taking it away. It is about lifting lives and not pushing them down. Today, a lot of leaders care about their own welfare than the welfare of their people. They completely don't have the interest of their people at heart. A person comes to you with a 7, but because you can't add value to them, you subtract and even go ahead to divide. How sad. So when you subtract 2 from 7, what remains? 5. Then you divide the 5 by 2, and the result is 2.5. A person who came to you with a 7 walks away from you with 2.5. What happened? You subtracted and even divided their value. Now ask yourself, when people leave you, are they better or bitter? Rejoicing or regretting? In dilemma or decisive? You must be intentional to add value to your people. When you lead from the heart, matters of the heart will always concern you. But when you don't lead from the heart, then matters of the heart will not concern you. Godly leaders lead from the heart. Godly leaders lead from the heart. So what must we do then to be able to lead from the heart? What must we do? We of this generation must love the people we are leading. We cannot influence people genuinely if we don't love them. Therefore, we must love passionately, love sincerely, and love deeply. Love will cause us to produce 3 things. Love will cause us to produce 3 things. Love will cause us to produce empathy. Love will cause us to produce a non-judgmental attitude. And love will cause us to produce change of personal culture. Now let me tell you this. Empathy is the ability to go into the world of others and being able to understand and connect with them deeply. They say empathy is walking in another person's moccasins, in another person's shoes. Now, human beings are phenomenological. That means they live in a world that only themselves understand better. Now, the capacity of a leader to penetrate their world through empathy impacts them greatly. It's empathy, listen to me, it is empathy which will cause us to listen more, active listening, which looks not only at the verbal, but also the non-verbal. The truth today is that the person you are leading today, who used to be productive before, and now he is not, could be at the verge of divorce. And that's why, out of stress, they cannot perform. It's empathy that will cause you to recognize this, friend. So can you stop and listen? People could be going through depression due to economic and social issues. Are you willing? Are you willing to work with them? Your subordinate's child may be struggling with a drug abuse issue, and that has affected their productivity. So are you ready to care? All that is a non-issue to you. Leadership in the 21st century must change its approach. We must be empathic enough to penetrate the world of the people that we lead if we are going to influence them and impact them greatly. But what about a non-judgmental attitude? The world today, let me tell you, is full of judges. It's easy, friends, to judge. Why so? It's easy to judge. It's easy to judge. It's easy to keep asking, why are blacks, whites, and red doing what they do? Why people are in the position they are in today without a blink? You can judge people easily. But when you stop judging and start loving, you will understand that everyone has a story, a deep one, which could leave you speechless. And so don't be quick to judge. Be quick to understand. The world will become a better place if we could reduce our level of judgment and increase our capacity to understand people. If you become a student of nature, a student of human life, believe me, you will begin to understand people in a different way. You can be able to connect with them at the point of their need and impact them greatly. So empathy, non-judgmental attitude, and the third one is change of personal culture. Change of personal culture. Now, this may call for, 180 degrees turnaround of personal culture. And mind you, I'm not talking about national organization or family culture, but changing your personal culture. Mahatma Gandhi said, we must be the change we wish to see in the world. So change the way you deal with people. Change the way you communicate with people. Change the way you think about people. This is what I usually tell my public speaking clients, that you can't be a person full of hate, negative attitude, and pride, and then all of a sudden, when you get an opportunity to stand before people, you become this great communicator full of love, passion, and a charming voice. It does not work like that. These things have to be personal culture. You got to go through a transformation to get yourself to that level where these things are part and parcel of you. Now, changing your personal culture will require self-introspection, self-reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and values. So you need to check, what really are my values? What really are my thoughts? What do I think about people? And how do I talk to people? So that you can be able to transform yourself to that level where you can now be of impact to many people. When you change your convictions which are not right, then you begin to change your behaviors and capacity to lead from the heart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is possible. This is very, very possible. It is Martin Luther King Jr. who said, if a man has not discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. Now, this is something we can die for, and so we will be fit to live. Let me tell you this. We must stop pettiness and go into greatness. Never again should we allow ourselves to sink into the valley of mediocrity and shame. We of this generation must purpose to rise above the cloud of despair into heights of glory and splendor. We must begin to punch life with the best punch and move into the mountaintop of significance. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with the words of one of the great African leaders, Nelson Mandela, who said there's no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. And I believe all of us have capacity to live a better life by becoming godly leaders who lead from the heart. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. See you next Tuesday. Interested to engage with us more? You can call the numbers on the screen. You can send us an email through the email address there. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, or even visit our website and see the kind of programs that we offer. We're currently doing an intake for the October Professional Speakers course, and at the same time, we are doing an intake for the Mentality Change 101 course that will really transform your life. May God bless you, and thank you very much.